Get traffic and weather first on the 5s, mornings and afternoons, when you need it most. 89 WLS.
5:37 with Don, Wade and Roma. Good morning. The most positive, optimistic radio experience in the universe. Looking forward to the Olympics. It's going to be good. And it starts officially tomorrow, but all those athletes are all there. Some got lost on buses, but I think everything's good now. Bob Willis is going to be representing the United States on the U.S. sailing team, Olympic windsurfer. Bob Willis is on the line. I hope this phone connection is good. Bob Willis.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Bob. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing very
great.
well. Everybody in Chicago is very excited to see you compete, and you've spent a long time here, I guess, surfing on Lake Michigan.
Yep, exactly. So I grew up in Chicago and started racing sailboats when I was 8 or 9 years old, and kind of progressed through racing sailboats and got into windsurfing as a bit of an outlet to sailing when I was 15 or 16 years old, and picked up windsurf racing as the next natural step. And I spent plenty of time, windsurfing on the shores of Lake Michigan, in addition to Wolf Lake in northwest Indiana.
How cool is that? That's a wonderful thing. The junior sailing programs, I know the Chicago Yacht Club has them too. You went through the Columbia Yacht Club.
Exactly, yeah.
Those are really great for kids, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a great program. I mean, especially, summertime in Chicago, it's by far, one of the best cities to spend, your summer outside, on the water and whatnot. And it's a great way, for kids. And I went through this experience as well, to be, out on the water with more friends and just enjoying the city.
Bob, this is your first Olympics?
Yep, correct.
Okay. For those people who are listening this morning, could you explain what the event is that you will be participating in, so that when they're watching, they'll understand what is an RSX event?
Yep, good question. So it's actually the RSX class is a class or division under Olympic sailing. So if you go to the NBC's website, for instance, and look up Olympic sailing, then you'll find a subclass or division called the RSX class, and that's the windsurfing class.
Why did they call it that?
It's just a brand name from the manufacturers who produce the equipment. There's no real significance to the name RSX.
I see.
It's just a name of windsurfing equipment that we race on.
When you and your buddies were windsurfing on Lake Michigan, Bob, did you have any idea this would be an Olympic event and that you would go to the Olympics to compete in it?
I knew it was an Olympic event. It's been an Olympic event since 1984. However, when I was just starting out, I had no idea that I would be here in Weymouth, England, representing USA and Team USA at the Olympics. It's pretty spectacular. But looking back on it now, it's been an incredible journey to get here. So,
well, what kind of a challenge is it to windsurf around England?
It can be, here in England, we can have a variety of different conditions. So it's commonly known for being a very windy venue. However, the past week, for instance, it's been really light for almost 7 days. So, we have to be prepared for a variety of different wind conditions for the Olympics. So, what I've done and what a lot of other sailors have done is come to the venue early and train, on site for, almost 4 months leading up to the games. So I'm feeling very prepared for the event, and I'm ready to handle any conditions that we see.
And where do you perform your best, your personal best? Is it in super windy conditions or light or what?
That's a great question. So I'm a little bit bigger than most of the sailors in my fleet. And because I'm a little taller, I carry a little bit more weight, and I generally perform better when it's on the windier side of the spectrum. So I'm looking forward to a windy event, if you may.
And where do they actually take this event? Where does it take place? Where do you actually compete?
In Weymouth, England, which is about 2.5 hours southwest of London, on the English Channel.
Ah,
on the English Channel. How exciting is that?
Yeah, exactly. So
do you have family with you?
They are. They're all coming over, family and some friends as well. So
everybody's a sailor in your family, right?
Almost. My brother and my sister are sailors. However, my parents are not. They've never sailed.
Oh.
So they're familiarizing themselves, with the sport pretty quickly, though, as you can imagine. But yeah, they're not sailors.
That's very exciting
That's
stuff.
fascinating that they supported you in your Olympics. I mean, in your junior sailing programs out of the Columbia Yacht Club, and they weren't sailors.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I actually got into sailing because my brother and my sister both sailed and went through the Columbia Yacht Club junior sailing program as well. And, clearly, at the age of 8, I only wanted to be like my older brother and older sister. So, I don't even know if I, enrolled in the sailing program because I wanted to or just because I wanted to be more like my brother.
Is this the first time you've been to England, or have you been there before?
No, I've been here a few times. So pretty much last summer, for instance, I was here for 3 months. The previous summer, 2010, I was here for about a month. So, it's kind of a home away from home.
So you're familiar with working there. So you're familiar with how to avoid the bad food.
Yeah, you know what? You'd be surprised. The food, at least the food around Weymouth and Portland here is surprisingly good. There's some unbelievable fish restaurants, and you kind of you get accustomed to it, and like anywhere, you find the local spots that offer some nice dishes for the most part. But yeah, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised with how good the food is here.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right.
When will we see you compete first?
My first day of racing is the 31st, and I go 31st, 1st, 2nd. I have a lay day on the 3rd. I race the 4th, the 5th, a lay day on the 6th, and we have our medal race, which is only for the top 10 competitors, on the 7th. 6 days over a week.
Wow, that's great.
Racing over 8 days.
Well, there's going to be a lot
challenge.
of people in Chicago watching and pulling for you, and we're certainly rooting for you.
Bob Willis.
Bob Willis, all the best from everybody here at WLS, and everybody listening this morning is wishing you the best.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bob Willis, Olympic windsurfer on the U.S. sailing team. And it's 5:45.
89. WLS. 89 WLS.